Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello once again, Shaker Heights varsity football fans, and welcome here to Barberton, Ohio. We're just west of Akron because Shaker is getting set for their first round of the OHSAA playoffs, and that is indeed against the Magics of Barberton High School. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name's Vaughn Ullum. We are just getting started. Jack Geisler, the man to kick this one away, as he sets down the football on the 40-yard line. Thank you very much for joining us. This is going to be a very exciting one. Shaker not able to clinch the playoffs last year, but they're right back here today. Seed number 9 of 16 up against seed number 8 in Barberton. Jack Geisler takes his 9-yard walk back, and here's the run-up and the kickoff. It'll be taken in at the 5. He'll run it up the left side of the left-hand hash mark. He's still pushing his way forward up past the 25. Not much further. It'll be marked at the 26. And Shaker's defense needs to get rolling. Shaker struggled with the run last week, but that's against Marquise Davis of Cleveland Heights. That final rivalry week was most definitely a challenge for Shaker. Marquise Davis wouldn't stop running the ball successfully. 5.8 yards per carry. They ran it 49 times for 286 yards. That was also with the help of John Gordon Jr., JGJ, as I called him during that night. But Marquise Davis is that big 4-star recruit for Cleveland Heights, and he has been leading the way. But here's the run to the outside with the running back. Number 2, the ball carrier, that's Kenneth Larry. That run to the outside will be a positive pickup, but just short of the line. It's going to be a 2nd down and 1. Shaker, once again, needing to get back to stopping the run game. This is what a lot of high school football is. It's about running it. Luckily, Shaker has Abdullah Ahmad, but they'll still run it as much as they can. Here's the run up the middle, but number 26, the ball carrier, he'll take it to the outside, and he's got room to run. Nothing but green grass in front of him down the left-hand sideline. He's all the way in. That came out of nowhere. At first, he was looking to go up the middle. He decides maybe that's not the best option, takes it to the outside to his left, and he'll go all the way. Touchdown, Barberton. 64 yards on the run. And my goodness, these Magics take the 6-0 early lead. Though Shaker is seated lower, they're ranked higher by Max Preps in the rankings. Oh, bit of a faulty snap there as the holder of the kick could not hang on to it. And because of that, it'll be no good, of course. So it'll remain a 6-point lead. One drive through. That means Shaker's offense will be coming up in just a moment. Barberton getting set to kick away to your Red Raiders. Thanks again for tuning in. We're just getting started. But I guess that could be a little bit of a bad thing as well, as we're just getting started and the Magic's already taken the early lead. As I was saying before that faulty PAT, the Red Raiders in Division II, they're ranked 27th, while Barberton 38th. In the state rankings, however, Shaker 127th, Barberton 218th. Shaker has the better record at 7-3. Those losses coming from, in order, Menor, Medina, and just last week, Cleveland Heights. That lost last week, 41-31. And Heights, as I said, they just continued to run it. But through the air, they weren't exactly half bad either. 2 for 2, 100% completion, of course, for 45 yards. So 22.5 yards per completion. So really working on all fronts for the Cleveland Heights offense. Shaker's defense just couldn't keep up. No turnovers and no sacks for the Red Raiders. And that's a rarity. This defense has been incredible. That should be a flag, as number 55 of the Raiders didn't touch the ball first. Will Berglund, the senior offensive lineman, didn't touch it, and it didn't go 10 yards either. So this should be a flag on the Magics. Or perhaps they're going to call it because Berglund had the fair catch. So with the fair catch, that'll bump him up already past midfield. It should be a personal foul. So it'll bump them up 15 yards from where they were supposed to be. Only 57 seconds off the clock. 11:03 left to go. First down for your Red Raiders. Abdullah Ahmad, the senior quarterback, standing in at 6'4", 200 pounds, and he has led this offense well. 3 receivers out wide to the right, 1 to the left. He's going to fake the give and hit Cameron Jackson in stride on the slant. He'll move it up past the 30, and looks as though they're going to call it about the 27. And they'll call it a first down, just barely making it as Cameron Jackson, number 81. Jackson, last year we didn't hear his name much, but as a junior, here he is. He's making a big difference. One of the favorite targets of Abdullah Ahmad. And speaking of Abdullah Ahmad, here he goes, running it down the right side. He'll end up going out of bounds, and that referee throws the flag after the play. Perhaps some taunting, I guess we'll see. Maybe a late hit. All I know is that referee threw that flag way in front of him. He's got an arm. And even though the enthusiasm got the better of him on his flag throw, it looks as though he's going to have to pick it right back up, as there's no flag on the play. So with that, it's going to remain a 2nd down and 1. Ball spotted at the 18. Shaker's only 18 points away from tying this thing up and hopefully taking the lead by 1. Low snap, Abdullah Ahmad recovers. He's going to run it to the right side, but he is swallowed up before coming back to the line of scrimmage. Won't be a loss of much, maybe half a yard, maybe a yard. Ooh, the referees might be a little generous calling it a loss of 2. Call it a 3rd and 3. Ball at the 20. Ahmad with 3 receivers off to the left and 1 out to the right. Beard remains in the backfield with Ahmad, and he's going to get the carry. It's a short gain. Will he get there? No signal yet for the first down, but the men with the markers already making their way over. It is a first down. Shaker Heights. Shaker might be using a little bit of inspiration from Heights today on some runs. Still with their run game last week. Not bad at all. 30 runs for 152 yards. That's 5.1 yards per carry. Ahmad, however, going to the air once again. He's looking for Kyle Waits right off the hands. And out and over the back of the end zone. That was close. If he had hung on to that one, that should have been a touchdown. Kyle Waits, number 11. Another one of those targets has been very utilized by Ahmad. And he has 6 reliable targets. Here's Cornell Beard up the middle. Solid pickup of about 6. We'll see what they officially mark it. It'll be a third down nonetheless. 6-0 is our score. Magic's on top. At home, they're hosting this playoff game. They come in with the worst record at 6-4, but they're just seated higher than Shaker. Shaker's 8, Barberton is 9. The other way around. Shaker is 9, Barberton is 8. The team looking over in sync to the right sideline. Perhaps getting a new call. It's a third down and 4. Ball at the 11. 2 receivers out wide of each side of the line. Beard in the backfield with Ahmad. He's going to the air on this one, but he is taken down quickly. He couldn't see him coming. That's Robert Davis, the wide receiver defensive back duo, coming in, getting the sack. The senior getting a big sack, and holy cow. And it looks as though they're going to try for a field goal. This is going to be a long field goal for Jack Geisler. We'll see how this one might end up. It's a 4th down and 13, so you don't exactly blame them for not going for it, because that's a long way to go. The snap, the hold, the kick is blocked, and it goes out of bounds. It'll escape the field of play at about the 16. And a big block for the men in purple and black. Speaking of which, Barberton today, purple helmets, a bit of a matte finish, not something we'll see from a lot of high schools, but also the purple jerseys with white accents and the black pants. Honestly, a gorgeous, regal look if you want to go that far. Shaker in there, red buckets, white jerseys, red pants. So Barberton, with the block kick, gonna get set up at the 16, or in between the 16 and the 17. And we'll see what they do to begin this drive. 6-0 is our score. The Magic's on top. And faking the give, a quick throw to number 6, and he's the man that sacked Abdullah Ahmad just moments ago. But there you go, leaping up high and getting the catch. And it looks like it'll be for a first down, and that is the case. 1st and 10 for the Magics. They're making quick work of this Red Raider defense. They're going to need to lock in quickly and get some stops, at least force a third down. Hopefully get a turnover. Quick throw, number 12, connecting with his receiver, number 3. Number 12, the quarterback, Dominic Wilson. He's finding number 3, Angelo Harper. Both seniors, a bit of a senior-senior connection right there, and it'll pick up the first down. The new set of downs will begin at the 39. Six 0 is our score. Barberton's on top in this first round playoff game. Taking the give. Number 12 looking deep. Just getting a hand in there. Is the defensive back covering up number 2. And my goodness, incredible coverage. It looked as though the receiver, Kenneth Larry, had him beat, but last second swat. I believe that's number 29. That's Rayon Johnson. On the official roster, marks him as a linebacker, but on that one, he's covering up the man down the field. Now here's the ball carrier, number 26. He'll be swallowed up quickly, but he'll get some positive yards. Perhaps 2. Scoreboard calls it 9, but up here in the booth, we know it's 2. Third down and 8. Magic's up 6. Shaker looking to get the ball back and hopefully tie this one up. They just had the blocked field goal moments ago. Jack Geisler wanted to not put too much elevation on his kick, so that also may have played a role in that blocked field goal. Going to the air, it's going to be the quarterback, number 12. And he's looking once again for Kenneth Larry, but Dominic Wilson won't find him for the second time on this drive. And it'll bring up a 4th down and 9, and I believe this should bring out the punt unit. Damian Cunningham and Jace Griffin are going to be the 2 men to return it if they can. They stand at the 35 exactly on the line. 6:38 left to go in quarter number 1. Now we get an official timeout. Ball is at the 40. Doesn't seem to be a ball placement issue. Referee threw yellow laundry down on the field. They'll pick it right back up. And now I guess we're back to it. Punter standing at the 25. And here's the punt. It'll take one lone bounce. And it looks like Barberton's going to touch it just past the 30. Maybe the 29. Maybe that 30. We'll see where the referees spot it. 6.5 left to go in quarter number 1. Thank you very much for tuning in. The Magic's on top of the Red Raiders, 6-0. Shaker looking for a score here. You don't want this one to get out of hand too early in the ball game, especially when we're not even halfway through quarter number 1. This is looking like a wildcat. Can't see Abdullah Ahmad. He's out wide, and it's going to be Cornell Beard taking it, and he's running it off to the right side. It'll be short of the first down, but a solid pickup to start your drive off. We'll see where they mark that one down. You could hear from the coach's box that they were yelling Wildcat. And that's because, well, it was a Wildcat. And if you are a Browns fan, you saw the Wildcat called a couple times in that game, both by each side. Saw one by Kareem Hunt as well. That's always fun to see. Very elusive running back. Cornell Beard moving from the right side of Ahmad to the left. He remains in that backfield. 2 receivers on each side of the line, but out wide. It's Cornell Beard looking for a lane. But it looked open at first, but it closed immediately as he motioned that way, and he will be very much short, losing yardage. It'll be a loss of 2. Call it a 3rd and 3. 6-0 our score. The Magic's on top. We've just passed the halfway mark of quarter number 1. 5:20 left to go. That clock continuing to tick on down after the run. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum. Hope you're enjoying this one just as much as we are. Excuse the shaky camera work. We had our tripod not exactly working today. Trey McNutt, the receiver to the left side, and he'll shake off one man, and he's down the left-hand sideline. Trey McNutt pushed out of bounds past the 40, past the 35. We'll see where they mark it. Referee stands at the 34. There you go. 1st down and 10. Shaker threatening. They're down 6. 30-yard pickup for your Red Raiders. Good stuff right there. 5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Ahmad situating his receivers. Cameron Jackson moves from way out wide left. He'll move in a little bit. He's still wide, but not as wide. And he's going to be the man Ahmad goes to. Once again, Cameron Jackson, number 81. Really a solid target for Ahmad this season. Of course, he's had his mistakes, but everyone has had their mistakes. This is high school football. And I was talking to head coach Alex Nicholson the other week. He expects mistakes to happen. He mentioned it's about how you recover from those mistakes that help you win a ball game. 4:56 left to go in this first quarter of action. Magic still up 6-0. And here's the jet sweep to Trey McNutt off to the right side, but he will be taken down. That'll push him all the way back to the original line of scrimmage, it looks like. And it'll be a 3rd down and 10. That erases all the yardage of the last play with Cameron Jackson. And Ahmad might need to go to the air once again. This might be out of range for Jack Geisler, especially his confidence might be a little shaky after the block. Field goal of the last drive of the Red Raiders. Ahmad going to the air again. And that is way short of his intended receiver, Kai James. The senior had a couple drops last week against Heights, but hopefully he's shaking off those troubles. It was a rainy day, of course. The ball might have been a little wet and slippery. That was an ugly game, but a very cinematic game for rivalry week, week 10. My goodness, only a 10-point difference between number 26th in the state and Shaker, who at the time was 123rd. 2 receivers on each side of the line, each out wide. Faking the give is Ahmad. Pocket collapsing. He'll roll out to his left. Looking deep to the end zone. Cameron Jackson, it's just out of his reach. Just out of reach. Cameron Jackson down the left-hand sideline. And Ahmad threw it a bit too near that sideline. And Cameron Jackson couldn't extend his arms out far enough. And it'll end up a turnover on downs. The Magic still up 6-0. They're going to look for more on this possession right here. 4:08 left to go in this first quarter. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name's Vaughn Ullum. Hope you stick with us through our first round playoff game. Winner of this will be going on to more than likely face Archbishop Hoban. They're seeded number 1. They face Akron Ellet Community Learning Center, who's seeded 16th. That's the very final qualifier. Here's a run up the middle. Solid pickup of about 6, maybe 7. We'll see where they mark it. 7 will be the distance gained on that one. 2nd down, 3 yards to go. Ball now at the 41. But both of these teams, after a victory today, they might need to get some tension off their chests throughout the week, as they will be playing Archbishop Hoban, and that is a tough school. Here's the run up the middle once again. He'll not pick up any yardage. It'll be a 3rd down and 3. The run up the middle. He fell forward. His knee must have been down before that fall forward, as it will be no gain. Granted, no loss. Just a new down. 6-0 is our score. The Magic's on top. 3:10 left to go in this first quarter. Big down here. It's 3rd and 3. Ball at the 41. Wilson takes the snap. He'll fake the give. Rolling to his left. The throw. Dropped by Kenneth Larry. Dominic Wilson. Perfect accuracy to his senior receiver. But right off the hands, it bounces to the turf. And this will send out the punting unit for the men of purple and black. And Shaker's offense needs to get cooking quickly in this one. Their first drive was concluded in a blocked field goal. It was a long field goal for Jack Geisler, but guess we couldn't see if it would have ended up short in the first place. Here's a sky-high punt. It'll land at about the 45, touched up by the Magics at about the 46. Maybe they'll keep it at the 45. A 14-yard punt for the Magics. And it'll give the Red Raiders 2 minutes and 41 seconds in the first quarter to throw up some points. Granted, of course, if they don't score, it'll just carry on over. 1st and 10, Abdullah Ahmad back in the pocket with Cornell Beard right behind him. 2 receivers out wide of each side of the line. Ball on the right hand hash mark. Man in motion from right to left is Trey McNutt. You know he's dangerous. One of the best recruits in the state of Ohio per 247 Sports. Ahmad looking to go to the air. Trey McNutt is wide open. Holy cow. No one was on him. 54-yard reception touchdown. And that is something you can never do. If you are a defense going up against these Raiders, you can never let Trey McNutt just blow right past you. And that's exactly what happened there. Trey McNutt, number 8, receiver defensive back duo, getting the touchdown. And that will tie this one up at 6 apiece. Shaker, Jack Geisler to make it a 1-point ball game, and he does just that. It is up, and it is good. Shaker's on top, 7-6. Thank you very much for Thank you very much for tuning in. My name's Vaughn Ullum. We're aware we've had some audio issues here in Barberton. Our apologies. What you just saw there, a 54-yard touchdown reception from Trey McNutt. And if you are the Barberton defense, that is something that if you have watched film from the Red Raiders, you have to know that number 8 is someone you got to keep in single coverage at least. If you can throw 2 men on him, that's even better. I mean, number 8, Trey McNutt, once again, the number 1 guy you got to watch on this Red Raider offense. Well, our apologies. Shaker just took the lead by a point. Jack Geisler able to throw up the PAT. 7-6 is our score. Shaker entering today as the lower seed, but only by 1. They're seed 9. Barberton seeded at 8. Ball taken in at about the 13, and he's taken down around the 25, and they're going to mark it at exactly the 25. That drive, that touchdown drive for the Red Raiders, only 8 seconds off the clock. That kick, 5 seconds off the clock, and it's now places us at 2 minutes, 27 seconds left to go in quarter number 1. Thank you very much for tuning in. Again, our apologies for the audio issues during that drive. And the handheld camera, it's not exactly ideal. We understand our equipment broke on the way here. And the facility just not exactly allowing that equipment here today. Here's a run to the outside. It's Kenneth Larry. Tripped up around the 30, but he'll keep on going with his second effort past the 35. And it'll pick up the first down, move those chains. Good run by Kenneth Larry. It's a good way to redeem yourself after you had the drop on 3rd down in that last drive for Barberton. The clock will continue to tick on down. We're approaching 2 minutes left to go in this first quarter. Shaker only up by 1. 7-6 is the score. The ball spotted at the 36. 1st and 10 for the Magics. Man in motion from right to left. It's going to be number 6. And it looks like Wilson's going to air this one out deep. If he's got his man, he's got a long way to go, but holy cow. Just dropped by his receiver. Kenneth Larry once again. Another drop by number 2. And he's got to wake up and catch these passes. One was a short 10-yard pass. That one right there would have gone all the way for the score, as he had the man beat, but no can do. Not sure if it's the blinding lights of the stadium, but regardless, you've obviously played here throughout the whole season. He should be used to these lights. Kenneth Larry that time will reel it in. And it'll pick up the first down and much more. Past midfield, past the 45, on the 40. And as the ball is spotted, the clock continues to roll. 1:30 left to go in quarter number 1. A 1st and 10 for the Magics. Again, our apologies for the camera here today. We understand it's not exactly ideal. Shaker up by 1. They're looking to keep it that way after this Magics drive. 1 receiver out wide right, 2 to the left, but it's going to go to the ball carrier, number 5. Number 5. That's DeJuan Owens, the junior back, getting the carry, standing at 5'10", 170. He's going to barrel his way for only a 3-yard pickup, make it 2nd and 7 on the 37. And the Magics only have to draw up one more play before the end of this quarter. 45 left to go in this first quarter. Here's the run up the middle. And it looks like the play clock just a second more than the clock of quarter number 1, and it looks like they are going to run another play. That pickup on the run was 4 yards, 3rd down and 3 coming up. 3 receivers to the left side, 1 up against that line, 2 out wide, and there's 1 receiver wide near side. That's number 3. Wilson with his running back right behind him, and a quick throw over to his right side. It's to number 3, Angelo Harper, the senior, picking up that first down with the reception. And that will then take us to the end of quarter number 1. Not much scoring to talk about, just a touchdown apiece. However, Shaker able to put up that PAT. The Magic's unable to do just that. It's a 1-point ball game. 7-6 is our score. We're going to take a very brief break as these two teams need to switch sides of the field as we begin the second quarter. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name's Vaughn Ullum. We will be right back. Shaker up 1. And we're back. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name's Vaughn Ullum, commentating for you this first round OHSAA playoff game. Running it is number 26, and he's got, he might be just short of the first down. If so, barely. And it looks like that is just barely. It'll be a 2nd down and inches, maybe a foot. Second down and 1 is the official down and distance. 11:30 left to go in this first half of action. Thanks for joining us. Shakers up by 1. 7-6 is our score. Both teams with a touchdown in the first quarter. Shaker, however, able to throw up a PAT. But here's another touchdown for the Magics. Running it to the back, number 26. That's Xavier Macon. And Macon. He's making us crazy up here in the press box. Here you go, number 26 with the touchdown. And 11:17 left to go in quarter number 2. Barberton not going to go for the 2-point conversion yet, as they're just going to throw this one through the uprights. It is up, and it is good. 13-7 is our score, as Barberton will punch it in for 6, throw up a PAT. First PAT of the game. The first PAT that Barberton had tried wasn't exactly blocked. It was a mishap on the snap, or maybe the hold. Regardless of what it is, the kicker was not at all confident in running up to the ball. And the referees just blew it dead after it got a little crazy. Shakers so far, their one touchdown coming from Trey McNutt, a deep ball to number 8, 54 yards on that receiving touchdown, as he was wide open. No one was on him. No one at all. And the receiver defensive back duo of Trey McNutt was able to take the lead, but the Magics took it right back. It's 13-7 our score, 11:17 left to go in quarter number 2. The Magics getting set to kick this one away. Ball will be spotted at the 40 for the kick. Referee talking to the players in purple and black. Hope you guys are enjoying this one. We are just 42 miles south of Shaker Heights, just west of Akron, but it only takes 55 minutes to get there by car from Shaker. And after a quick bounce, it's going to be Trey McNutt on the return all the way up by the 45. And holy cow, once again, Trey McNutt making some highlight reel plays. Number 8, there you go. This is why we have been raving about him all season long. And some more information about Barberton as the Red Raider offense will be trotting out onto the field. Barberton is really similar in size to Shaker in the name of enrollment, and that's not something we'll often see due to just a lot of these conferences for Shaker's athletics have been determined by location. And so whatever's close to him. Oh, holy cow. It's Barberton recovering the fumble. A run to the left side, and my goodness, just trying to deliver some facts about Barberton. But the Barberton defense not allowing me to get many words in. Just past midfield. But the ball carrier coughs up the football as he's taken down. Only one turnover against Heights last week. But again, if we look at these stats against Heights, they're not that bad. The only things to be concerned about is the sacks, really, where it was 4-0 advantage Cleveland Heights. Play blown dead before anything could get started. It should be an offsides. And that is the case. It'll move them up 5. First down, 5 yards to go. But once again, if we look at the total yards of last week, Shaker actually had 12 more yards than Heights, but obviously the scoreboard didn't tell that same story of positivity for the Red Raiders. Here's the run to the left side. A good pickup once again for number 26, Xavier Macon. Or Macon. Not exactly sure how you pronounce that name. It's Macon. Getting some confirmation up here in the press box. Thank you very much. 10.5 minutes left to go in quarter number 2. Shaker down by 6. But Barberton has the ball. And with the lead, they might be able to start pulling away with a score here. The run will pick up the first down. It's once again Macon. That'll move the sticks. First down and 10 for the men in purple and black. 10:15 left to go in quarter number 2. The Magics up by 6 in this first round playoff game. So far, a defensive battle, really, between both sides, but the Magics with a score here can start making this momentum shift all their way to the home side. Here it's Macon moving to the right side, but now he's got a lane opening up to the left. Eventually bringing him down is McNutt. And he'll limit him to a gain of 3 yards. 2nd and 7 coming up. The ball spotted at the 38. 38 more yards to go for the touchdown. But we'll see if that's in the stars for this Magics team. Thanks again for tuning in to the Rudy Sharkey Stadium here in Barberton. This Barberton Stadium just next to the high school and the middle school. A little school community right here in Barberton. And now here it's Wilson throwing it over to his left side. Bobbled but caught by number 5, the receiver, DeJuan Owens. And that'll move the chains all the way up from the 38 to the 23, 15 yards on the pickup. First down and 10 for Barberton. 8:50 left to go. The clock, however, continuing to tick on down after the completed pass. First and 10, once again at the 23. 2 receivers out wide to the right, 1 out to the left. But here's a run up the middle with 26 Macon. Once again, a solid pickup. It should get him about halfway there. Maybe even one more than that. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 4.5. Once again, a run, this time to the left side, and Macon can go nowhere. We'll see where the forward progress gets him. There's an injured man down on the field. It's a Magic. And as he is attended to, we are going to take a short break. It's going to be 3rd down and about 7 when we come back. Shaker down by 6 with 8:02 left to go in this first half of action. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll be back. And we're back after the injury timeout. Braden Steffen, the man going down. He's the offensive lineman here on this drive. Also, if you need him, he's the defensive lineman on that side of the ball as well. Barberton up by 6. Here's a 3rd down and 7. Ball at the 20. They were in the red zone. They were pushed to the edge of the red zone on that last play. After the injury timeout, the clock continues to roll. We're just under 8 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Wilson looking to the air. And holy cow! Touchdown! Barberton Magics. He airs it out to his receiver. Kenneth Larry on the reception. In the back of the end zone, he'll catch it over the shoulder of Jasir Eady. And holy moly, perfect ball placement there from number 12, Dominic Wilson. And the senior connection once again. Wilson and Larry. The throw and the catch. And with 3:48 left to go in quarter 2, the Magics are now up by 2 scores. They're up by 12. They're looking to make it 13 with the PAT here. Snap, the hold, the kick up, and the kick is good. (20-7) is your score here today. Barberton has the advantage, but Shaker needing to get something crack-a-lackin' on offense on this drive if they want to keep it very close. It'll be a kickoff from Barberton. Last return, a great one. It was by Trey McNutt. But the first offensive play of the drive ended up in a fumble. And that just killed all the momentum of the men in white and red. Ball, of course, will be spotted at the 40. It'll be on the right-hand hash mark. Cameron Walton, the senior, to kick this one away. 7:48 left to go in the second quarter. The run-up, the kick, it's a low-to-the-ground kick. And let off of Kai James. He'll recover past the 30, past the 35 after juking one man, and he's brought down before reaching the 40. It'll be at the 37, says the referee. And Shaker's offense comes back out onto the field. Their last 2 possessions were a touchdown and then a fumble just past midfield. That fumble led into 7 more points thrown up on the board by the Barberton Magics. Thanks again for tuning in. First round of OHSAA playoff action. Shaker seeded 9th. They're up against Barberton, who's seeded 8th. That's why we're here in Barberton after all. And here's another fumble. Who got it this time? Shaker got it back, but holy cow. Barberton able to punch the ball out well. It'll still be a solid pickup. It'll call it 6. 4 to go, of course. Second and 3 at the 44. Here's the run. Up the middle, the Cornell Beard. He'll push his O-lineman forward, and that should move the chains. Ooh, looks like, ooh. Scoreboard for a second was delayed. It said 3rd and 1. That was not the case. Got a little nervous. But it is indeed 1st down and 10. 3 receivers off to the right side, 1 to the left. Beard remains in the backfield with Ahmad. And here's the give to Beard. He's got room to run. Green grass in front of him. He'll juke one man. Another Magic will trip over the juked man on the field. Beard will go for a couple more yards, and he is in the red zone. Shaker threatening with the big run from the junior, number 15. 6:24 and counting on down left to go in the first half. Here comes Shaker. Ball spotted at the 15. The snap, the give, once again to Beard. Pushing his way up the middle. He'll get it past the 10. Almost picking up another first down just by using the strength of his legs. It'll be a 2nd down and 3, gain of 7 on the play. Ball now spotted at the 8. They pick up a first down and not a touchdown. It's going to be a 1st and goal. 3 receivers off to the right, 1 to the left. The team looks in sync over to the left-hand sideline, and the Red Raiders giving them a new play call. 5:40 left to go, counting on downs. Here's the 2nd down and 3. Ahmad going to the air. Does he have his man, Trey McNutt? Oh, just out of the hands. He could have come up with that one, but it just taps off his hands. He beat the man covering him up. But the drop will lead to a 3rd down and 3. Maybe this is where you go right back to what has been working this drive. Go to Cornell Beard in the backfield. But that's also more than likely what is predictable. But they'll go with it anyway, because Beard continues to succeed on the ground. There you go, running it to the right side. He'll pick up a touchdown. And your Red Raiders throw up 6 on the board. And now it is a 7-point ball game. Barberton up 20-13. Jack Geisler to make it 20-14. There is an injured man down on the field, however. It's a Barberton player. We're going to take a real quick break, and we'll be right back for the PAT. Thank you very much for tuning in. Shaker just scored another touchdown. 20-13 is your score. Down on the play was number 44, Rigo de la Trinidad. Long last name, but we're here for it. But seemed to be holding on to his crotch as he was heading off to the sideline. You can sympathize with him there. 5:27 left to go in quarter number 2. The PAT is up, and the PAT, yes, indeedly do. It is good. Shaker, only down by 6 now. They need their defense to come in clutch after the kickoff. It's coming up in just a second. We're going to take a very, very brief break, and we'll be back. Shaker up by 6. And we're back here just through the midway point of quarter number 2. 5:30 left to go. Taken in at about the 15, number 6, the return man. Pushing it up past the 20. And number 6, that's Robert Davis. The senior will get it up to about the 25 exactly. First and 10 for the Magics. They're up by 6. They've got some room to work with, but not much at all. A touchdown here would make it a bit more comfortable, especially since Shaker had that 2-minute, 21-second touchdown drive. That was capped off with a touchdown run from Cornell Beard. And he had that big gain to put him into the end zone all the way from around midfield. Now here's the run to the left side. Ooh, making it up the middle to number 26, Xavier Macon. It'll be a pickup of, they'll call it 9. Second down and 1. Ball at the 34 now. The Magics could use another touchdown drive right here after the Red Raiders responded to their last one. 4:44 left to go in quarter number 2. If the Magics use the clock to their advantage, this could be the final drive of the ball game. But quickly taken down is the Magic's running back. He only needed a yard. He very well might have gotten it, and it looks like he did. Gain of only 2, but once again, that first down will be obtained. First and 10 with 4:30 left to go in quarter number 2. Ball at the 36. Your Red Raiders down by 6. Two receivers out to the right, one out to the left. We'll normally only see 3 receivers out wide. Here's a big run by number 5. That's DeJuan Owens. And that running back, that junior running back, has just been incredible. But who's also been incredible is Xavier Macon. Macon has been primarily the main ball carrier, but there, Owens getting the big gain, moving it past midfield, past the 45, and on to the 40. First and 10 for the Magics. 2 receivers out wide to the right, 1 to the left. Faking the give to Macon. Over to the right side. There's a clear face mask on Larry, and that's going to push them up 15 after what was already obtained on the reception. It was a 6-yard pass. So the penalty should push them all the way up 21 from where they were originally were. We'll see if the referees agree. And they do. That'll put them inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. Your Red Raider band getting set. They're in the corner of the stadium. When Barberton gets right up next to that end zone, you might be able to see him with your camera. Just about 3 minutes left to go in quarter number 2. Barberton looks in sync over to the left sideline. Shaker could use a turnover here. 1 receiver out wide to the right, 2 to the left. There's 1 up against that O-line left as well. Here's the run. The quarterback keep, and Wilson going to be able to take it all the way home. Wilson faking the give to his back, number 26, Macon. And Macon has been absolutely incredible. But because Macon has been so incredible, Shaker thought it'd be going right to him. But the quarterback keep tricks him a little bit. Dominic Wilson, the run to the left side. And he'll punch it in for 6 to make it a 7-point drive. Here's the kicker, number 88, Cameron Wilson. Snap the hold. The kick by the senior is up. And it is good. This quarter for Barberton has really just been runs. 12 of those runs, only 2 passes. Granted, when we were playing Heights, there was only 2 passes throughout the entire night. That was in that first half. What was the goal? So they exposed a weakness on the run defense. There must have been something in film that has been spotted by the Magics and probably the Tigers in Week 10, and it's the weakness of the run defense. Because this defense has been struggling against exactly that. This run game has been the kryptonite. The Raiderettes getting set behind the end zone. Looked as though there was a penalty on Shaker, so the kick will be spotted at the 45 instead of the 40. 2:38 left to go in this second quarter and this first half. Shaker down by 13. They will, keep in mind, be getting the ball first as we begin the second half, but that's way in front of us. Here's the kickoff. This could very well be a touchback, and it looks like that is the case. It'll bounce off the back of the end zone. And with 2:38, Abdul Ahmad trots back out with his offense. And we will see what he can get done. Only 1 turnover so far for the Raiders. It was close to a second, a forced fumble. Shaker lucky to get it right back, but the Magics have been able to punch it out with success early in this ballgame. 2:38 left to go. Shaker down 27-14, 1st and 10. Abdul Ahmad in the backfield with Cornell Beard. 3 receivers off to the left and 1 out to the right. That's near side. It's tipped, but Kai James will end up reeling it in. Should be a completion of about 5. Shaker going hurry up. They've only got a limited amount of time remaining in this second quarter. Ahmad giving it to his back. It's Cornell Beard pushing forward. He'll be just short of the 30. That 30 is the line to gain. We're yet to see Caden King, the second half of that running back room for Shaker, and that's a dynamic duo if you like the run game in high school football. Here's Cornell Beard pushing his way forward all the way up next to midfield. He should be just shorter. These referees might be able to give it to him at exactly midfield, and it looks like that's the case. 21 yards on the run, number 15. Once again, back into shape. Under 100 seconds, now under 90 seconds left to go in quarter number 2. Shaker wants to put some points up on the board in the dying seconds. Ahmad going to the air. He'll try to find Kyle Waits just out in front of him. Waits hitting the turf as he extends out in front of him, but it's just out wide. That'll stop the clock at 1 minute 20 seconds. Second down and 10 coming up. Ball at the 50. Shaker with all 3 timeouts. No timeout has been taken by either side. Both teams have 3 timeouts. Cornell Beard finds a lane opening up to the left side, and is this where Shaker will take their first timeout? It looks like it is. Timeout. Your Red Raiders. They're moving down the field, looking to punch the ball in for 6. And perhaps when we return after the halftime, Shaker's going to be getting it right back. Maybe they can punch it in for some more. They could take the lead if that is the case. 1 minute, 12 seconds left to go in quarter number 2. The Magics are up by 13. 27-14 is that score. It's a 3rd down and 6 in front of Shaker Heights. And out comes the offense once again. Third down, 6 yards to go. This is a big down for Shaker. Granted, they might go for it at this point. 2 receivers out wide of each side of the line. The ball is on the left hash mark. Beard, of course, in the backfield with Ahmad. He's to his right. A minute 13 left to go in quarter number 2. Men in motion from left to right is Trey McNutt. The snap, the throw to Cameron Jackson. He finds him in stride. He'll be taken down between the 20 and the 25, it looks like. They'll call it the 21. Does Shaker call a timeout here? Not yet. No can do. 60 seconds left to go in the quarter. The snap, once again, Ahmad's going to the air. Does he have Trey McNutt? Oh, it's just out of his reach once again. The precision just not there on the throw. And Ahmad hitting the turf once again as he extends out wide. Unfortunately, the ball isn't coming with him. 51 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Thank you very much for tuning in. Shaker has an opportunity to cut it back down to a one-score game. And since they're getting the ball back at the start of the second half, they really have a lot of opportunity to take a lead if they can. Short throw to Cornell Beard. And that's going to get him just about nowhere. 40 seconds left to go. Or excuse me, 43 is where it looks like it'll stop. Now an injured man down on the field. It's a Red Raider. And Shaker was going to be taking their timeout anyway. And as they take the timeout, we are going to take a short break. Injured man down on the field. He lays between the 25 and the 30. Hopefully he's all right. We'll take a short break. We will be right back. Shaker down by 13. Tim Switzer, the man that was down. And with the amount of impact he makes on that offensive line, that's never, ever a name you're going to want to hear trotting off the field. But luckily, he was indeed trotting off the field. A light jog on his own power. But now Shaker faces a third down. 10 yards to go. Ball at the 21. Ahmad takes the snap. He's going to the air. Trey McNutt is open, but he'll look for Cameron Jackson instead. He'll take it within the 5, and it'd be smart of Shaker to not take their timeout to just get this clock bleeding. But looks like Shaker's going to take that timeout regardless. Bit of a shocking move, as you never want to give Barberton any time whatsoever. It won't be much, but still. Timeout taken by Shaker. That's their second, it says on the scoreboard. I believe that is correct. Shaker down by 13, 27-14 is our score. The Red Raider band getting set up on the sidelines. We're going to try our best to film. Of course, our setup tonight, not exactly ideal, but we will see. Ooh, excuse me, hiccup. We will see what we're able to do. 32 seconds left to go in the first half. Shaker once again down by 13. It's a first and goal from the 2. Two receivers out wide of each side of the line. The ball between the hash marks. Ahmad going to the air. Does he have his man? Touchdown! Red Raiders. Trey McNutt, once again, the man to reel it in, and that's just not a surprise. Heck of a catch. Diving to his right, and we have just seen, over these past few weeks, it just seems like Trey McNutt just keeps progressing. Just more highlight reel plays, more and more each game, and it's just something you gotta keep as a talking point if you're a Red Raider football fan. Whether you're a parent of Shaker, whether you're just a fan that stumbled upon this live stream of high school football, Trey McNutt is a name you want to remember. You might be seeing him on something like the Big Ten Network in a few years' time. PAT up and good. Shaker with 3 touchdowns and 3 PATs. And once again, they find themselves down by 6. Shaker going to kick this one away. Only 25 seconds left to go in the second quarter. The Magics have all 3 of their timeouts, but be rather surprised if they play this one that aggressive in the dying seconds of the half. Thanks for joining us. We're just concluding this first half of action of the first round playoff game for the Red Raiders. Their last playoff game in Medina. Not last year, but the year before. And that was just not a pretty game if you are a Red Raider fan. 54-0 was the conclusion of that game. And here, and maybe trying an onside kick of sorts. It's taken in around the 40. I'll mark it at the 41, and it's a bit of a surprising move because now the Magics are that much closer with 3 timeouts. Risky idea. I mean, you'd love it if they still decide to kneel it, but that's just not what's going to be happening. 3 receivers out wide to the right and 1 to the left, and that's how you know they're going to be going to the air because they never send all their receivers out wide. Pocket collapsing. Wilson going to find his receiver, number 15, and he's out of bounds. My goodness. Onside kick may prove costly. 17 seconds left to go as the clock stops. The receiver on that one, Noah Diart. Or perhaps DeHart. Not exactly sure. Still, just a shocking move on the onside kick. Or perhaps a squib kick. It wouldn't have been a successful squib kick. Granted, it wasn't a successful onside either. Going to the air once again, it's Wilson. Once again, he's going to find a wide open receiver to his left. And out of bounds goes number 3, Angelo Harper. The senior receiver reeling it in, and it'll only take 3 seconds off the clock. 14 of those seconds to go in quarter number 2. A bit long for a field goal. So the Magic's going to need to send something downfield. Maybe just bit by bit. They've got those 3 timeouts. We'll see if they decide to use them. Wilson. Pocket collapsing. Short throw. Oh, knocked out. Big contact. That time by the Red Raiders. The man to knock the ball ajar, it looks like that's, of course it is, number 8, Trey McNutt. And that'll take 5 seconds off the clock, 9 to go. Now it's really clutch up time for the Magics. Nine seconds, 3rd down and 4, 27-21. Is our score. The Magics are on top. Wilson looking to go to the air. Pocket collapsing. DeGamo pressuring. He'll find his receiver off to the right side. Trying to force him down. Is he out of bounds? The clock will continue to roll. And that will be the end of the quarter. And the half. Or is it the officials going to meet up between the hash marks? Head coach Alex Nicholson very much assuming this was going to be the signal of his team to head to the locker room. And it is the end of the half. Barberton enraged. And the Barberton fans are going to let the men in the stripes hear it as well. That'll take us to the half. It was an interesting end to the half, perhaps controversial as well.
Wait, no, they're not changing.
Oh, but now the officials are changing their minds. Never seen that before.
There's a home field advantage I've ever heard.
Oh my goodness. What is that? Sending the team to the locker room to back out to the field. But now the officials are back to talking. And I was ready to send this to the halftime.
It had showed 0.
Scoreboard was set to 0, set to 12. It was set to 20 for halftime. And what is happening? That would be ridiculous if they decided to change their minds. But now are they calling it? Officials talking to each side.
Coach is heated over there.
Head coach Alex Nicholson heated over there by the Red Raiders sideline, and quite understandable at this point.
One second.
And holy mackerel. Going to be a field goal attempt. They call it 1 second left on the clock. And now if this misses, this is just going to be a huge time consumption. But if he makes it, this will be a huge difference in the game. What will it be? What an insane call by the official to end the half. And now looking for a touchdown. The kicker was going to throw it down the field. What is happening? What is happening? Shaker's heading to the locker room. They blew the whistle before the play started. What is happening? Pure confusion.
They started the clock, I think, when the thing was supposed to blow.
At the Rudy Sharkey Stadium.
Yeah, that's it.
They might have started the clock
On the whistle,
on the whistle,
and they didn't hike it immediately.
and they didn't hike it immediately. That might have been it. Just pure confusion at Barberton. And I'm not going to say I don't have a little bit of confusion myself. The Red Raider band's just trying to get set. But the officials,
Tim gives an explanation.
once again, meeting. We'll see if head official will give an explanation. Not sure if he will, as he seems to be making his way off. And we can see over to our left here in the press box, the Barberton coaches clearly confused as well. I guess we'll talk more about this when we come back from the half. That was the most confusing commentary I've ever had to give.
Did they start the play clock with the whistle?
Not sure what was going on, but we're going to head to halftime. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll be right back after the 20-minute halftime. The Red Raider band getting set now. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name's Vaughn Ullum. We'll see you for the third quarter of play. Shaker.
By 6, 27 to 21 is our score.
First quarter. First quarter stats.
I know. I ate that. Yeah, but today. Any type of motion. No. Why are you telling me? They tell me. That's what I'm saying. If I'm going to go off the paper and says that's March.
He said, don't get one.
I don't even have to. My guy can't force this. I don't have to.
When I see
So I'm like,
don't start. It's over.
Once he wound it.
Yeah, it's over.
it's going to be outside of for me, it's like I love videos. Reading out the way. I'm meta. Yeah, I'm not I'm gonna try to come up with a game on the classic. It's a little bit of a drive for me because I stay on the meta. I did a soccer.
For us here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is a 50 hour minute.
Yes.
No, I mean, I was asking like football people that their parents have
Thank you. 15. Probably.
Yeah.
They still, Shaker still bought it.
They had a
Did anyone even
it was supposed to be 45 people. I don't know. Maybe what they're
Maybe they were all a bunch of John Cena's.
maybe. So it's to see.
Yeah. Austin on live, man. He's back here. Yup. We could get Benny and more Marty in a second.
Heights is up on equal 25. 25 nothing.
with Athens playing for field 7.
Hello, Shaker Heights varsity football fans. Welcome back to this first round OHSAA football game. Your Red Raiders find themselves down by 6. 27-21 is our score. That kick should go as a touchback as it bounces its way into the back of the end zone. It will be a touchback. 12 minutes up on the clock, symbolizing the start of quarter number 3. And Abdullah Ahmad will come out with his offense now. And Trey McNutt, you know him, you love him if you are a Red Raider football fan. He has been the target of the day for this Red Raider team. And so is Cameron Jackson. He was the one that got the reception to put him into the red zone on that final touchdown drive for Shaker. But Trey McNutt had that 54-yard reception to punch it in for the very first touchdown for Shaker. Here's a flip for Trey McNutt, running a little bit of a jet sweep. Moving his way forward. Still running. And this is why he's got all the D1 offers coming his way. Those efforts just will not stop by the junior. However, there are 2 pieces of yellow laundry down on the field. We'll see what the call will be. It looks like it might be holding. And it is a holding on the offense. The penalty declined. But there's another holding, and that one will be accepted. That'll push him back 10 yards. It'll be a first down and 20 to go from the 10. Shaker Heights hurting themselves there as they're looking for the momentum right out of the locker room, especially out of the confusion that was the conclusion of the first half, as we saw 1 second put up on the clock after the referees called for halftime. And then the clock ran right as the whistle blew. Very confusing scene. Barberton fans were quite aggravated by the call. They're a very short run of only a couple. Or they'll call it 4. 2nd and 13 to go, 11-16, and ticking on down, left to go in the third quarter. 27-21 is still our score. The Magics are on top. Ball spotted at the 14. Abdullah Ahmad stands in the backfield with Cornell Beard. 2 receivers out wide of each side of the line. Ahmad takes the snap. He'll fake the give to Beard. Find his receiver to his left side. I believe that's Cameron Jackson once again, and yes, that is the case. Number 81. Once again, the junior reeling it in, standing at 6'2", 185. He'll move those Red Raiders up 11, and it'll be a third down and 5 to go. Ball at the 25. 10:53 left to go in quarter number 3. Shaker, of course, still down by 6. This time it's going to be 3 receivers off to the right side. Abdullah Ahmad, pocket collapsing. He'll throw it out of the sack. And that O-line fending for their lives on that play. Pocket collapsed just about immediately. Ahmad with barely any time, and it'll bring up the 4th down and 5. Lucas White taking the field for the first time tonight. First time we've seen the sophomore punter on the turf. Barberton thinking it could have been an intentional grounding, but he was hit as he threw. So, ready to draw the line on that. White standing on the left hash mark at the 10. Good snap. And there goes the punt. It'll take a bounce just short of the midfield stripe, and now it's touched up between the 40 and 45. Barberton's offense trots back out onto the field now, led by quarterback number 12, Dominic Wilson, and his favorite target of the night has clearly been number 2, Kenneth Larry. And though he had those couple drops early in that first quarter, he really picked up his performance, and he's gotten a touchdown as well in this game. Speaking of the game through the air, they went 8 for 13 for 107 yards, 61% completion percentage in that first half. Shaker, however, they also completed 8, 14 attempts is what they went with for 151 yards. Keep in mind that 54 1-yard reception by Trey McNutt was a big part of that. Only a 57% completion percentage for Shaker there. That run, a positive one. It'll get him about 4. Second down and 6 to go. Ball's at the 46 of the Barberton half of midfield. They're still up by 6, looking for more on this drive. And Barberton has run it a lot more throughout this game. And here's another run to the outside with number 26. That's Xavier Macon. And he will push it all the way past midfield, past the 45, and just short of the 40. First down coming up as Barberton's looking for that new set of downs. We've just reached less than 10 minutes left to go in quarter number 3. And here come the Magics. Barberton yet to turn it over. Shaker with the only turnover of the game. Almost turned it over a second time. 2 fumbles, but Shaker was able to recover it that second time around. First down and 10 for the Magics. Run to the outside to the left. And Macon's not going to go much of anywhere. Not a loss, but no gain either. Second down and 10 coming up. The clock ticking on down. 9-10 and ticking on down. Left to go in the third quarter. In that first half, 20 runs for Barberton. 185 yards. That's 9.3 yards per carry. Now, if you're that running back room, if you are Xavier Macon, and if you are number 5 Owens, then you are liking that stat. Here's a run up the middle. He's stopped rather short. It'll be a gain of only 3, and it'll bring up the third down and 7. Here's the time for a big stop if you're the Red Raiders. They could use it here. Less than 8.5 left to go in the quarter. Shaker had their first drive of the half. Came up short as Lucas White had to punt it from his own 10. Barberton looking to throw up some points off of the possession change. Taking the snap, it's Wilson running it. Once again, it's going to be Macon. And he is going nowhere. DeGamo Richards taking him down with Trey McNutt. And there you go. 4th down and long. And it doesn't look like they'll bring the punt unit out, as this is not exactly where you're going to punt it, as we've seen a lot of different high school football games throughout the season. But right as you really cross midfield, you're not going to punt it much. And the ball spotted at the Red Raider 42. And so they should be going for it. On the 4th and 9. 2 receivers out wide to the right. It's going to be Wilson. And he is wide open. His receiver, number 6, Robert Davis. He's taken out of bounds inside the red zone. Wide open is Robert Davis. And the senior moves those chains. And Barberton's got the first down. Ball will be at the 17. And wow, what a momentum change. Way to go for it if you're that head coach of the Magics. 25 yards on the reception. Puts them in the red zone. And uh-oh. Here come the Magics. About 6.5 left to go in the third. 1st and 10. It's going to be number 15, positioned as the quarterback. 15, that's Noah Diart. And now an official timeout. As I believe that was number 6 of the Red Raiders. That's, of course, Justin Russell, the defensive lineman. His helmet popped off, and because of that, he's going to have to sit out of play. It was 8 yards on the gain there. Noah Diart still positioned in at the quarterback position in the backfield. And with Dominic Wilson out, we're just a little confused. It might be another run. And that is the case. Diart, however, he stopped short of the line. It'll be close. It'll be 1 yard short. 3rd down and 1. Ball will now move up, of course, 1 to the 8. Ooh, never mind. It'll only be a gain of about a half a yard. They'll keep it 2 yards away. 3rd down and 2, says the scoreboard. Ball remains at the 9. Official timeout. Referee asking for a scoreboard clock change. Or, excuse me, a substitution for the Red Raiders. Degamo Richards coming out. In replacement, it's Cameron Jackson, who will take his place, it looks like, at linebacker, which normally isn't his position. He's more of a defensive back type of player. Big stop coming up here for the Red Raiders. It's a 3rd down, 2 yards to go. That's the down and distance as the ball is spotted at the 9. Less than 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. In this first round playoff game, Shaker down by 6. And here's the snap. It's once again going to be a run to the left side by Diart. And he will be able to pick up the first down and bolt his way into the end zone, breaking the plane, and that second effort gets him there as he's tripped up, but just able to keep his footing. Touchdown, Barberton Magics. They're up 6 more. It'll be the kicker, number 88, Cameron Walton, looking to make it 7 points thrown up on the board on this drive. It was a 6-minute drive, or if you want to get really specific with it, 6-minute and 1 second drive. But, my goodness, a lot of time taken off the clock. And if Shaker wants to get a comeback brewing, you just gotta get your offense cooking on this drive coming up. Kickoff will be coming from Cameron Walton. Ball should be spotted at the 40. And something we noticed up here, the press box, and you should see it right before the kickoff, is Walton doesn't take much of a step back from the ball before his kickoff. We see Jack Geisler normally take specifically 9 yards back, when normally we saw a lot of Greater Cleveland Conference rivals take 10 yards back. So that was something interesting to note. But here, when we'll see if it happens again, but Walton takes a much shorter walk back from the ball spotted at the 40. We'll see if that's the case once again. Watch out for number 88. He positions it on the hash mark, and we'll see how far his walk is. It's not that noticeable, but it's something interesting to note if you're able to catch it. And here he takes a full walk back all the way to the 11 yards. And holy cow. Perhaps it's a sign he's going to kick it far. He'll start with a long stride, and now the run up all the way for the touchback as it bounces out of the back of the end zone. 4:37 left to go in the 3rd quarter of action. Shaker once again down 13. It's been a back and forth of being down 6 and being down 13, it's felt like. Shaker just needs a big defensive stop against these Magics. But so far, it just hasn't been in the cards for them. 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. Ball is spotted at the 20 after the touchback. Cornell Beard in the backfield with him on. It's going to be 3 receivers out wide right, 1 up against that line to the left. Snap taken. It's going to be a give to Cornell Beard trying to push his way forward. He'll pick up 2, which seems a little generous from where we are up here, but Shaker's going to take it with much glee. The clock will be ticking on down. 4:20 left to go in this 3rd. 34-21 is our score. The Magic's the higher seed on top of the Red Raiders. 2nd and 8, now at the 22. Same formation this time, 3 receivers off to the right side. Here Ahmad's going to take it himself. He stiff arms one man, and now he's pummeled around the 25. And holy cow, luckily Ahmad quick to get up, but whew, we've seen it a great many times in the Greater Cleveland Conference. These quarterbacks just don't want to slide, and Ahmad no different. We saw it from the Heights quarterback, but that was just about it. Big 3rd down here, 5 yards to go to pick up the first. Ahmad's going to go to the air. Pocket collapsing, he's rolling out. Will he pick it up himself? Spin move, and now tackled and pushed across the line to gain. Holy cow. Abdullah Ahmad getting a painful first down. And everyone take a breather. My goodness, Abdullah Ahmad putting his body on the line for his team. And I mean, that's a leader right there. You can respect it. But I mean, I'm sure his coaches have a little something to say on the matter. But keep in mind, it is a first down. Ball's at the 32. Ahmad once again going to the air. He had some room to run in front of him, but now he's looking to Trey McNutt, and it's off the hands. And incomplete. 2:44 left to go in quarter number 3. The clock stops where it is. 2nd down and 10 coming on up. Ball remains at the 32. Shaker down 13. Good, great throw that time by Ahmad. So often what we've seen is a perfect pass and it's dropped, or a wide open man and the pass is just a little off target. Ahmad looking for Trey McNutt, and he bobbled it for a second. Luckily, he regains control. It'll be a very short gain, however. Call it 3. 3rd down and 7 coming up. Two receivers out wide of each side of the line. It's going to be the football placed at the left hash mark. Beard to the left of Ahmad in the backfield. Snap taken. Quick throw to Trey McNutt. He should pick up that first down. That is the case. He's past the 45. 16 yards on the throw and catch. And now Trey McNutt, a little bit of a odd run to the sideline. A bit awkward to look at, I guess. Probably awkward for him to feel. And that means D'Artagnan Mitchell's going to come in replacement. The near side receivers, Kai James, Kyle Waits, and of course that Mitchell. However, Ahmad looking for Cameron Jackson, and Cameron Jackson only, and holy cow, he came up with it. Holy! What a catch, and it might have been a pass interference as well. That's the case. They're going to decline it, and whoo-hoo! What a catch from Cameron Jackson. He's been really the second target tonight. Trey McNutt, that always the favorite target. And that's why he's got the D1 offers stacked up. But 26 yards on the throw and catch. Cameron Jackson with a beautiful leap, a beautiful grab, and a beautiful first down. Here's the run up the middle. The Cordell Beard, he's got nothing but green grass and the touchdown right in front of him. Throw up 6-20. 7 points for your Red Raiders. They're down 7, and it's going to be Jack Geisler, your kicker, to make it a 6-point ball game. There you go. A 28-yard run for Cornell Beard and Jack Geisler now to send it through the uprights. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and ooh, that is no good. Not sure if it was deflected or if it was just a wacky little kick, but it looks like it more than likely was deflected. So that'll keep it a 7-point ball game. 34-27 is your score. The Magics, for the moment, are winning. Once again, we'd like to apologize for our handheld camera. Of course, not ideal, but the Barberton facility didn't exactly allow for us to use our tripod. We would have had some stuff in the way, and so this is what we've got for you today. Not ideal, but we're working with it. 34-27 your score. Magic's beating the Red Raiders. There's only a minute 43 left to go in this third quarter. Big touchdown drive was capped off by a 28-yard run from Cornell Beard. And he has just been incredible throughout this season. He has been a big piece of why the Red Raiders are right here, right now. And though he doesn't exactly have the same exact recruitment status as someone as Marquise Davis for Cleveland Heights, he is still just a talented running back. Kick taken in just in front of the 15, and he's got no blockers working for him. And number 6, the ball carrier, Robert Davis, going to be taken down right by that 20. We'll see where they mark him. It'll be the 22. A minute 34 left to go in this third quarter. It's going to be quarterback Dominic Wilson leading his offense back out now. And here's the run once again up the middle. It's with Xavier Macon. And holy cow, he's got one man to beat, and it's Jackson Ward. Can Jackson Ward get him? He cannot. What a run. 78 yards. As Xavier Macon making the Red Raiders defense weep with such an incredible run. And the shocking thing is, at this point, you'd think it was predictable that the run was coming your way. But Shaker just not able to figure it out. Macon. Huge run for the touchdown. A one-play drive, a very short drive for you there. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 14-point ball game here in Barberton. So it's back to a 2-score game advantage, Magics. So far this quarter, the Magic's offense has been somewhat predictable, as it's been 90% runs for them this quarter, 10% pass. It's been 9-to-1 ratio. So Shaker, as they're now down 14, getting that offense, they may be a little tired, but they need to get them right back out to the field. Only 81 seconds left to go in this third quarter. And we'll see if Shaker takes their time or what will be the case. And it's going to be Walton to kick it once again. And once again, taking that 11-yard walk back. Earlier, he had that 5-yard walk back, but now just a different story. It means, according to what we've seen, it just means a longer kick, and that seems to be the case. Oh, he'll return it. Looks as though that's Trey McNutt, and he'll return it past the 30, past the 35, maybe the 36. That's exactly where it will be, the 36. A minute 13 left to go in this third quarter. Shaker down by a pair of touchdowns. I mean, Shaker can get right back in this ball game. They just need a touchdown, a stop, and then another touchdown, which isn't exactly out of character for the Red Raiders, but tonight maybe just the playoff lights. A little much for the Red Raiders. Here's pass completed. Once again, it's Cameron Jackson. Holy cow. The contact doesn't really get to Cameron Jackson as much as it will like other receivers. Cameron Jackson, even if he is lit up right after the pass, he still hangs on, and that's just something you got to admire from a receiver. Here it's Cordell Beard to the left side, pushing his way forward. He's got the first down. Move those sticks. Shaker only has to run one more play in the corner. We'll see if they decide to run some more. Clock stops, and now it continues. 40 seconds left to go. 3 receivers off wide to the right. 1 to the left. D'Artagnan Mitchell in motion from right to left. And now it's going to be given over to his ball carrier, Cornell Beard, and he'll fall forward. And he'll fall forward, but on his back. Luckily, he's not exactly injured from it. And sorry if you're hearing profanity over our live stream. We assume it's not going through, but my goodness, we're right by the Barberton coach's box. And clearly, the defensive side of the ball was having a couple of issues, to say the least, to conclude the quarter. As this, I assume, defensive coordinator was trying to bring out a player, and in doing so, use some colorful language. And again, we apologize if that went through. 12 minutes left to go in regulation. The Magic's up by 14. 41-27 is our score. And we've got a great game for you. It's been quite back and forth throughout the night. And we've got some throws through the air. We've gotten some runs on the ground. We've gotten some good action here in Barberton. As if you're a fan of football, you are enjoying this game right here, right now. If you're rooting for the underdog, you're rooting for the Raiders. And they're holding their own. They're only down by a pair of touchdowns and PATs. As 41-27 is our score. 2nd and 5, the down and distance. Ahmad looking to go to the air. Does he have his man? Looked as though he did. Kyle Waits. Looked as though he was going to hit him in stride, but Kyle Waits just loses the grip on it, and it falls down to the turf incomplete. 6 seconds off the clock there. 11:54 left to go in the final quarter of action. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Vaughn Ullum. Hope you're enjoying this one just as much as we are. Could be the final week of football for the Red Raiders. However, they're hoping it doesn't get to that point. 3rd down and 6 now. They pushed it back 1 yard. And here, is it complete? Yes, it is. That was close. A bit underthrown, but D'Artagnan Mitchell just looking behind, and he'll get there just in time to secure it before hitting the ground. 2 receivers out wide of each side of the line. Here's another run to Cordell Beard. Able to escape 1 tackle, still pushing forward. And it'll be about a gain of 8. 2nd down and 2 is upcoming. So Shaker, if they punch it in, they could really, really use a stop on that next Barberton possession. We'll see if that will be the case. 11-11, make a wish left to go here in the 4th and final quarter of play. 2 receivers out wide of each side of the line. Ahmad, once again, giving it off to his running back, Cornell Beard. He's flipped over onto the 10. And Shaker deeper into the red zone now, as it might be a 1st and goal. First and goal, it's from the 10. 3 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. That one lone receiver's number 81, Cameron Jackson. Ahmad, broken play. He's going to try to run it, but that's just going nowhere. Ahmad losing yardage, and it's going to remain a 1st and goal, I believe. Or excuse me, it'll remain goal to go. Second down, 13 to go. Here's the run to Caden King now, and his first carry. He'll take it in for the score. That's a way to enter the ball game if you're number 26. The junior, Caden King. We know this running back room. If you're a Red Raider fan, you know him just as well as we do. This is a dynamic duo. And now it's going to be Jack Geisler to put up the PAT to make it a 7-point ball game. Here we go. Snap, hold, kick, up, and good. Only a touchdown and PAT separate the 2 teams in front of you. It's been a great night for football. The lights shining bright, the teams performing incredibly well. And we hope you're enjoying this one too. Just under 10 minutes left to go in the 4th and final quarter of play. 7 points separate the 2 teams. The Magics are up 41-34. Great night of football here in Barberton. In that 3rd quarter, only 1 penalty. It's been a while since we've had some penalties. Though there was that pass interference that was declined, yeah, really not many penalties. We're surprised that, especially in high school ball, you expect players to make their own mistakes. But so far, these 2 high schools rather disciplined, and that's not something you're really going to complain about. Some good, hard-working football. Some fair football, if you want to put it that way. 9:55 left to go in the 4th quarter. The run-up from Jack Geisler. And, a funky little kick. Sky high. And Shaker has an opportunity to get it back. Did they? We'll see. It might have been out of bounds. We'll see what the officials call it. Oh, they call it with Barberton. That was close.
He got possession, but he's out of bounds.
It looked like he had his right knee in bounds when he got his hands on the football. You never know. The officials still talking about it. Perhaps you never know. It could be a home field call as well. But here we are. If you were here at the end of that first half, you know these Barberton fans were really aggravated at the end of that 2nd quarter. And it was a really odd play. I don't know how to describe that too well because we're still not exactly sure what was going through the minds of the officials. The run to the right side. It's with number 26, that's making once again. And in that 3rd quarter, 9 runs, 110 yards. And so Shaker just needs to understand that the runs come in their way. halftime from a diner. 41-34, Shaker down by 7. These Magics continue to run it because it's working for them. And here they should be picking up the first down. That is the case. Move those chains. Shaker just needs to get that run defense working. Barberton going to try and get this clock rolling as much as they can. And here's the run once again. Not to many surprise. If you've been watching this game all night long, you know that the next play will probably be a run as well. They've had one singular pass throughout the entirety of the second half. Two receivers out to the left, one to the right. Man in the backfield with him will be number 5, and now he's taken down, and this Red Raider defense is now cooking up something. From a 2nd and 8 to a 3rd and 7. And Shaker's subbing a lot of men out. Maybe going to a pass defense, because it makes sense if the Magics are going to go to that. Why would they run it again? But we'll see. They might run it again, but that'd be rather surprising because they were just held to 2 plays for only 3 yards. We'll see what happens here. It's anyone's guess. Wonder what the Vegas lines say. Now the officials calling an official timeout. And now it looks like we are set. Oh, excuse me. The clock was reset when it was not supposed to be. Looks like they're going to run a play without the clock going. But now, a timeout taken by the Magics. A lot of officiating confusion throughout the night. It might be a talking piece when this one's all said and done. Granted, Shaker taking that end of the first half call with a lot of gratitude, because it definitely helped the Raiders, but still, it was a compromise call, and if you're a referee, a compromise call is never something you're going to give much. So, 3rd and 7 face the Barberton Magics, and through the third quarter, they ran it for 12.2 yards per carry, but on this set of downs, they've been held to 3 yards on their 2 plays, and yeah, 3rd and 7. The ball's at their own 31. And this down could be a lot to the game. What will they do? 3 receivers to the left side. This is going to be a pass. It's with Wilson. He's looking to go deep to number 3. Does he have it? He bobbles in and it's dropped. Oh no! Flag thrown. Now the referees are talking. This should not be a pass interference. I normally try not to make my own judgments, but that just should not be a pass interference. But it will be. Holy cow. It's because the defensive back didn't look behind him. But still, you shouldn't really be calling it on just that alone. Really didn't touch the receiver at all. And yet here we are. Rough call if you're the Red Raiders. It would have brought a 4th and 7. And now here we are at a 1st and 10 at the 46. Still yet to cross midfield, but that's just going to be a momentum changer for the Magics. And here's the run to the right side. It's with Macon, and he's going nowhere. No gain, no loss. 2nd down and 10. Ball will remain at the 46. Shaker, keep in mind, still down by a touchdown and PAT. $7:10 left to go in the 4th. 2nd down and 10. Ball remains at the 46. Shaker could really use a stop here on this set of downs. They were a little troubled with that last penalty call. Here's a pass to the air to number 6. Does he hang on? Yes, he does. Holy moly. Robert Davis on the catch, and Shaker could use a turnover, but they're just not coming. Trey McNutt, the man covering Davis. But McNutt was beat for sure. It was a 30-yard pickup on the throw and catch. Just under 6.5 left to go in the 4th quarter. 1st and 10. Ball at the 23. They're just next to the red zone. What are they going to do here? Go into the air once more to the left side. It's a number 15. And he fumbles it, but it looks like the Magic's got it right back. So close. And now there's an injured man down on the field. It's a Magic. And it's number 74, Elijah McDougall. The junior being helped off with support of his coaches. Hopefully he's all right. But for now, it looks like he might be out of the rest of this one. 6:05 left to go in the 4th and final quarter. It's now a 2nd and 3. They're approaching a 4-minute drive right here, right now. Barberton with 2 receivers out wide to the right and 1 to the left. This should be a run. Fumbled by the quarterback. And he's just going to have to nail this one down as he doesn't want any more trouble. That'll hurt that drive. Not by much. It'll be a loss of 7, so actually will make it a 3rd and long from it being potentially, if there was no gain, it would have been a 3rd and 3. Shaker's going to take that for sure. And they're going to move right back to that pass defense. Hopefully they don't get a pass interference call as they did last time. Granted, that call, once again, was a little controversial. Perhaps questionable is the better word for it. $5:10 left to go. In this 4th and final quarter, it's going to be a quarterback keep. There might be a holding. He would have picked up the first. We'll see. What will it be? A holding would be incredible. It's an illegal shift on the men in purple and black. The home team going to be distraught with that one. Just over 5 minutes left to go in the game, or in the regulation of the game. Here we are at Rudy Sharkey Stadium. It has been a phenomenal game of football. It's a 3rd down and 15 to go. Should be going to the air here if you're Barberton. Ball's at the 28. They are going to the air. Just pitching it out in front of him. And oh my goodness. Number 6 finds the lane. And Robert Davis, even though it was just a throw of about 2 feet in front of the quarterback, he's able to bring it all the way home. That's just unfortunate. There's no other way of putting it. "28 yards, throw, catch, and run." 5:20 on the drive. And now the PAT up and good. And that just deflates you if you're a Red Raider fan. Shaker with not much time, especially if they want to get a touchdown, maybe onside it, and then get another touchdown. Granted, Shaker does have all 3 timeouts if they just want to kick it away after a touchdown. But, yeah, Shaker's going to need to get these touchdowns and get them relatively quick. My goodness, what a broken play to end up in probably the biggest play of the ballgame. 3rd down and 15, and Shaker's able to punch it in. Robert Davis, an easy catch, but a harder run, but I guess the lane just opened up in front of him. The gates of heaven, it must have felt like to him, as he just bolts right through. And very well could have determined this game. Nothing but green grass in front of him. Thanks again for tuning in. Shakers now in crunch time, as they find themselves down by 14 in the late stages. 4:35 left to go in the game. Once again, that kicker taking his 11-yard walk back. It's Walton, Cameron Walton. Here's the run up to the football, and here's the long kick. Oh, never mind, a bit of a squib, and fumbled by the Raiders. Now they just need to pounce on it. Luckily, they do just that. The Shaker band still blaring their horns and crashing their cymbals. And we'll see if a little bit of momentum from the band even could be what this Red Raider offense needs. They got to be quick with it. Abdullah Ahmad back out now with his offense. Cornell Beard will be the running back. And Trey McNutt not in for this play, as he remains on the sideline. Ahmad takes the snap. He's looking to go to the air. Quick pass. It's to Kyle Waits. He'll pick up the first down. Thrown into the air, but he will pick up that first down. The clock will continue to tick. Well, excuse me, now it'll stop, but it will when the ball is set. And Shaker, let's get it going quickly. 18 yards on the throw and catch. 1 receiver to the right side, 3 to the left. Once again, Ahmad to the air. He'll roll out to his left, and now he might just use his legs. Or, never mind. To Cameron Jackson. He finds his receiver past midfield. And, Cameron Jackson is down. And that hurts your offense. It'll stop the clock, but that's not really an equal trade at all. Cameron Jackson, holy cow, he has had a night. And with him down on the field, this is just not something you're going to want to see. Trey McNutt was back in on that last play, so luckily he's returned. But, yikes. Hopefully it's just cramps. That's what it looks like from up here in the booth, but we're not trying to determine anything. We aren't the doctors. Barberton falls into a bit of silence here as we await. Kyle waits right here. What a football game. My goodness. Just 14 points separating the two. It's been back and forth between a 2-possession game and a 1-possession game. The unfortunate thing is if it hadn't gotten to that point, this would have been a tied ball game all throughout the night. But Shaker just can't seem to stop this Magic defense. And if that fumble had gone Shaker's way, it could be a tied ball game. But just the ball just hasn't been bouncing the Red Raider way tonight. Ahmad go into the air once again. Trey McNutt back with it now. He pushes one defensive back off of him. He's all the way in between the hash marks. He flies down the field. Woo! Trey McNutt. Mr. McNutt, the quick strike, the quick touchdown. Excuse the camera work. And Shaker is putting this one back to a 1-possession game. 50-second drive. 50-second long drive. Excuse me. Trying to get exactly what my statistician was informing me about. 52-second drive. And so now we've said it all night long. It's back to a 1-touchdown game. Can Shaker stop the Magics? Or heck, are they going to onside kick it? You know head coach Alex Nicholson if you're a Red Raider fan. And you know he's aggressive. I mean, he always has been. I've been commentating for 3 years, and he has been aggressive all 3 of those years. .345 left to go in the fourth quarter. Shaker set to kick this one away. It's going to be Jack Geisler. He's only 4 yards away from the ball. They might onside this one right here, right now. They have 3 timeouts, but still that's what they're going to go with. And it's taken in at around the 44. The Red Raiders with all 3 of their timeouts. You got to expect the Magics to run it. They moved the ball to the 42. It seems. Scoreboard was at the 43. .342 left to go. Only 3 seconds off the kickoff.
Tell him 340, 345.
And now it looks like it's going to be 3:45. They put 3 seconds right back up. 1st and 10 Magics. Should be a run. That's what we can expect. And that's not the case. Quick throw to the left side. And that's a quick first down for the Magics. Clock stops as they reset the ball. But move those chains. That's not a way to start the drive if you're Shaker. Not something you'd expect if you're the Shaker defense. You would expect a run. But now they got to keep their heads up. Not sure what the matter is of the clock. Clock continues now. The officiating has been all over a little bit tonight, but hopefully that is the right call. A little confused myself, but I'm sure they're aware what they're doing. Except now it looks as they're just draining the clock at the moment.
Here comes the run.
And here's the run up the middle. And, ooh, close to a first. Not there yet. It's going to be a second down. Is Shaker going to take a timeout? Looks as though they are. It's going to be a second down and very short. This defense going to have to be mistake-free from this point forward. As they're going to need a very big stop, as it's going to be a second down, and yeah, will be 2.5. Scoreboard marks it down as 3. What a good night for football. Good Friday night. We know the weather this weekend is not going to be as pretty of a scene, and tonight there has been a bit of drizzle, but it's really let up for the most part. Granted, if you were with us for the Cleveland Heights game, that was a very ugly weather game. Two big spurts of rain. Granted, each were only about 15 minutes, but regardless, just an ugly night for football. Cinematic, maybe, but yeah, no. Not wanting to do that again. This has to be a run right here. And there's a false start. That's huge. Woo! That's huge. That'll make it a second down and 8. Ball at the 46. Take a breather. That's huge. Now, will this be a run once again? Most likely, but I guess we're going to see what's in front of us. I'm not here for the predictions. But here is the run. To the right side, it's with number 26. He'll miss a tackle. And that'll be a first down and a lot more. Yikes. Shaker needing to get those tackles down. Big first down pickup. But did he go out of bounds? No, he did not. Shaker will take a timeout. 2:42 left to go in the fourth quarter. 24 yards on the run. They only needed 8. But the Shaker defense has been struggling with the run defense throughout the last few weeks. And the tackles have been a bit troublesome as well. So this is where you reflect back on that onside kick before this drive got started. It would have been back around midfield. If it had been, say, a touchback. But either way, another first down, and this one might be over. Here's the run up the middle. And he should have been down and didn't blow the whistle. Number 26 Eventually brought down at about the same spot, however. And that is once again Xavier Macon. And once again, a timeout by the Raiders. 2 yards on that gain, and it's going to be a 2nd down and 8 coming up. No more timeouts for Shaker. So after the timeouts are burned out, Shaker can get it back with about 40 seconds. Granted, they won't have any timeouts, but the heartbeat's still going here for the Raiders. Just about 2.5 left to go in quarter number 4. More than likely a run once again, and that is the case. This time it is to number 6, that's Davis, and he's thrown on down to the turf. They give him a lot of forward progress. That'll be a 3rd down and call it 4. This is a huge, huge down. 15 seconds on the play clock. They're going to use all that time that they can, or maybe the Magics are going to take a timeout of their own. That's what it seems to be. Because I doubt they're going to take a delay of game. And there's the timeout. 1 second left to go. Timeout, Barberton. A field goal could about ice this one. We'll see if they do that if it becomes a 4th down. Wouldn't be a terrible idea. But Shaker up against the first non-GCC opponent in 5 weeks. They're faring rather well, but they are struggling to keep it that way. A 106 seconds in specific left to go in the 4th and final quarter. It's a 3rd down and 4. If you're the Magics, do you run it here? I assume you would. If you're playing it safe. And playing it safe might just be what they need. And they're going to run it to the outside, and that very well will do this one. He ran out of bounds. It won't exactly matter, as Barberton's going to take this one home. Once again, another run with Xavier Macon, who has ripped apart this Red Raider defense. And so has the run game from the last many opponents, as we saw Week 10 from Cleveland Heights. So the Magics are going to head into victory formation, or at least we can assume. And now a timeout taken by Barberton. And now cheers of celebration from the Magics. Looks like this one will only be a 1-touchdown game. Unless Barberton wants to put up some points for the sake of putting up points, but that'd be a little bizarre. It'd be rather classless. So a very, very interesting game for you today. We saw the end of the first half just be wonky. There's no better word for it. Or perhaps confusing is a good word for it. Maybe even wrong if you want to go that far. But Shaker, really the reason for the loss today was the run defense. Just not able to stop the run. I mean, that's really what it's been. I don't believe the Magics, I believe, punted once in that first half. But that was about it. Nothing in this second half. It's just been scoring nonstop. From a 2-possession game to a 1-possession game. 2-possession, 1-possession game. That's been the night for you. The Magics have been in the lead the entire half. But Shaker always right behind, and that's something you can admire from this Red Raider team. They have stuck to it all throughout the night, all throughout the second half, and that's something you got to admire. Even though Shaker is going to be taking the loss here today. So it looks as though, last I checked, that the Magics will be moving on to face Archbishop Hoban. At least I can assume that remains the case, and yeah, that's going to remain the case. Number 1 seeded in Region Number 5 of Division 2. And Shaker, well-fought season. What a turnaround season. That's really what we can say as they take this loss on the road to conclude the tournament. Shaker ended their regular season in 2022 3-7, flipped the digits this year. 7-3 is how they conclude it, with only losses to Menor, Medina, and Cleveland Heights, 2 top 60 opponents in the state. And so Shaker, what a turnaround year. Hopefully they can bring this kind of momentum into their season next year. Of course, Abdullah Ahmad not returning. He is a senior. But we'll see other offensive weapons such as Cornell Beard back next year. Trey McNutt, of course, back next year. Cameron Jackson, unfortunately you saw him injured earlier, but he will be back next year. And so Shaker. What a night. What a season. Good football game. Congratulations to the Magics of Barberton. And so before I wrap this up, I'd like to give my thank you to everyone from Shaker Heights football program, and that includes head coach Alex Nicholson. He has worked with me. He's given me great quotes for this live stream throughout the season, and he's just been really supportive of the whole thing. Thank you, everyone who has been watching throughout the whole year. You have been very, very supportive, and I'm nothing but grateful for you all. Thank you to the parents. Thank you to the students. Thank you, of course, to the players who have also been nothing but supportive to this stream. I will see you in the winter, as I will be back commentating hockey. If you aren't a big hockey fan, I'll be back in the spring for baseball. Hopefully, we'll see you for both of those sports. But for now, Shaker loses this one by a score of 48-41. Your Red Raiders with such a turnaround year. 7-3, how they end their regular season. And nothing but smiles as Shaker will conclude this season. Thank you very much once again to everyone watching. We will see you next year for my senior year, as Shaker can hopefully succeed all the same. My name is Vaughn Ullum, signing off for now.